Okay. So you mentioned seniors. So does this address, I guess, food security? Because I know it's something to help with food insecurity. Does this address? And I know that I noticed reading that a lot of, I guess, food insecurity actually affects people who are like working and whatever. So does this address the issue of food insecurity, or just with a certain demographic?
I think it does two things. It can help the gardeners here eat more produce and teach their grandkids about eating healthy.
Like intergenerational.
Exactly. However, it's and where its use ends, though, is that it does not actually provide a long-term solution to food insecurity.
Yeah.
Because to actually grow enough food from a garden, it's a lot of work, and if someone working full-time, coming home and then having to spend a couple hours in the garden can be a lot.
Yeah, you don't have really time to garden if you're working all the time, right?
Yeah.
So that makes sense. So furthermore, like, since we're talking a lot about food security, what can you say? What is food security in a nutshell? Because honestly, as I've mentioned many times, when I first heard about food security, I was like, what is that? Is that like protecting food or something like that? And now I've read so much about it, and I'm like, why is this not a bigger issue? So what, in a nutshell, can you tell, I guess, the viewers in my class, what is it about?
The pure basics of food security is just ensuring that everyone has enough to eat, but also can choose what they want to eat. We're not going to all give people porridge and gruel. It's not food security.
Nobody wants gruel. It doesn't even sound appetizing.
Right. It's giving people the choice to eat and cook what they want, and making their choices to choose healthier options much easier.
Yes. Yeah. So you mentioned the garden. It's kind of like a Band-Aid solution, I guess, is what you were kind of saying, but it doesn't essentially fully address the problem. Now, working in this industry, I guess, are you shocked sometimes that there's not an actual national policy? Because when you think about it, like 4 million Canadians are affected by this, and 1.15 million kids food insecure. So does it shock you sometimes that there's not an actual like national policy to deal with this?
Sometimes it does. Like I consider food and housing a basic right.
Yeah.
Like pure basics. No one should have to work 3 jobs just to have a place to live and enough food for their family, which is what the wages. It could take 2 or 3 jobs just to live sometimes. So I'm upset, shocked, but I shouldn't be surprised, because it's sometimes helping the folks who need it most isn't a priority for the leaders of our country.
Okay.
Which is a shame, actually.
Yeah. Now, why do you think that is? Why do you think there's not, like, I don't know if I asked that before, but why do you think there's not, like, why do you think it doesn't come to the forefront? When you see so many people affected by it, you see that there's not a national policy, why do you think that something that's such a big issue isn't brought more to the forefront?
That's a good question, and there's so much different variables in it. I think some main ones are that that